good morning, and welcome to our continuing series, Interviews with Disciples and Devotees. Today we are honored again to have our dear friend with us, who's done 3 previous interviews. Namaste.
Namaste, Narada. I use the word...
Madhusudan has been with Mother since a child, and I urge you to see his first 3 interviews when he takes us through his childhood and then all of his years with Mother, then his studies, his work, and today you're going to share with us something else, something new.
Yes, I think perhaps for the first time I'm talking about medicine and the role of spirituality in the field of medical health and medical science. I'm appalled to see that in medicine, and that's my field of work, we are only concerned with matter, the physical human body and the organs and the illness. We treat very thoroughly and with great competence today almost any and all diseases on this earth. However, I find that there is a very strong lack of something extremely important, because matter without spirit is absolutely dead matter. And since the Mother told me that there is divine in everything, and when I asked her what she means by divine, what is divine, how do I feel? She says, it's an energy, my son. And she said, your soul is divine in you, is this God in you. And soul is life energy. And when I looked at dead bodies, the only difference between these dead bodies and myself, Narad, was that they had all the same organs, all the same muscles that I have. Their brain looked exactly like mine. The only thing missing was life in them. And so I said to myself, my goodness, the life energy is what Mother told me about as l'anima, soul, l'âme de l'homme, de l'être humain, the soul of human being. And I can't believe that we can cure or heal people only on a material basis or molecular basis by treating their molecules, their cells. What is also important, I think, is to be able to treat them with energy to see. Because, for instance, very clear example, cancerous cells are living cells. And if they're living cells, there is energy in them. But as Mother had explained to me as a child, that there are positive energies and negative energies. And I'm not going to that particular topic now, which are positive energies or negative energies. However, we do know that cancer cells survive on an energy, and cancer cells are negative cells for the human body. Now, in cancer therapy, we treat these cells. Either we operate the tumor and throw it away, but if any of these cells remain, we treat them through radiotherapy or chemotherapy, chemical therapy, and we destroy these cells. I ask myself, what happens to the energy which is in these cells?
So what happens to the cells?
The cells get destroyed by chemotherapy. What happens to the energy which was in it?
The energy, yes.
Yeah. And what I'm amazed at is that when a human being, the soul leaves the body because the body is too old or because it's been too damaged, the soul leaves, departs, goes back to the divine, to Brahma, if you want to say. I can't say what that is, where it is, but I know that Mother told me that the soul never dies, this energy. But the body then dies because there's no more energy in it. Now the cells, tumorous cells die, but what happens to this energy? Is it possible that it is this energy that creates metastasis, that it goes and transplants itself in another cell or builds another cell where it can reside? And it's very simple. You don't have to be very scientific. If I destroy the energy, automatically the cell will also, the matter will destroy. If you take away my soul, I'll be a dead body. But you kill me, my soul is still there. So the idea is that if we use energy to cure illnesses and destroy the negative energy or replace it with divine energy, then the cell will be also healthy and there will be no damage to the body. There will be no metastasis, for instance, in cancerous disease. And I strongly believe that we can do this, and I've done this without a scientific base to prove it, because it would be unethical to treat certain patients with this divine energy, what Mother calls, use my son. This energy when you're working through your inner state of consciousness. Touch my son. Because she said, your hands are not for punching other people, their teeth out, as I did as a child. She said, they are for healing. And she said, you'll understand that one day. And she told me one day that when you touch, you are transmitting energy, because the body becomes aware that it's being touched.
Do you not feel that chemotherapy and radiation are debilitating?
Are very debilitating, because they also destroy healthy cells and have side effects.
Yes, yes.
And imagine if I destroy negative energy through positive energy, through divine energy, then I'm not creating any side effects. I'm not creating any molecules. And the molecules in which this negative energy will be destroyed, okay, because they were sick, they can be removed, but there is no more danger of metastasis or side effects of chemotherapy or radiation therapy. Now, how do we prove this? It's very difficult, because if I take patients and I do really scientific trials where there's a control group and a group that I give therapy, or we call placebo group, which is the control group, it is not fair that you treat one group with this divine energy and things that don't, and another group that you don't give them this. I can't deny help to anybody. I never insist that a patient pay me. I only insist that they bring about results, because I don't cure. I tell them that nobody can cure them. It's their body that cures them. And through their state of consciousness, they can also do this energy work. And a person like me only ignites the energy. And this also, Mother said, à toi, mon fils, d'allumer cette énergie, cette conscience humaine. This human consciousness, what she was talking about, the divine consciousness in human beings, this inner consciousness that Sri Aurobindo talks about. This is a state of being where this energy level is optimum. And the biological body then is not overpowering this energy level. We are too concentrated on our material body, on our physical body. And even our education system lays a lot of knowledge, a lot of emphasis on the material aspect of education, of earning your living and so on. But rarely they teach, how do we apply, how do we use this particular energy, what Mother and Sri Aurobindo writes about, for ourselves, for our health, for our being, and for doctors and others who are in the healing profession, to apply. So basically I tell them that it's not my energy that I'm giving to a patient. No. It's only my energy that ignites their energy. You can't ignite a candle with a water pistol. You need fire to ignite fire. So I can awaken Narada's energy, or Narad's energy, just by touching. Because when I touch, he immediately, through his nervous system, through his physical and material body, feels that does it. I know what it felt like when I touched the mother's feet and got her energy. When she put her hands on my head, I was a total part of this universe and this universal consciousness, Brahmanic consciousness. I was no body, no soul, nothing. Just this wonderful energy, Brahmanic energy. And you can get that also when you understand what Mother has left us. Not only her message, she has also given us people who can guide us, people who really can assist us. To me, every trustee of the ashram is a representative of the mother. And when I touch Manoj Das' feet, I'm touching Sri Ma's feet. When he blesses me, I feel the energy of the mother which is in me. You know, the body is Manoj Das, but the energy is Sri Ma, because she nominated him. This is my love and respect for her. And so, even if he doesn't agree with me, that's his right, but he's still mother's representative. To come back to the point of energy in medicine, which is extremely important, is that all doctors are concerned with the illness. And that is very important, yes. But I think the most important part, and I tell my patients, look, I'm not interested in your medical records. We know what your problem is. I'm interested in your healing process.
Isn't this also somewhat like homeopathy, treating the whole being and not the illness?
Well, this is what is wonderful about homeopathy, because I will tell you one thing. If you analyze under electronic microscope homeopathic granules, which are in sugar, for instance. Let's not talk about drops. Let's talk of these homeopathic medicine in sugar, little sugar balls or whatever you call them. In homeopathy, I am not an expert. I have very little knowledge about homeopathy, but the most important part of homeopathy will explain very well this discussion on the role of energy in medicine. If you, as you know, if your doctor prescribes to you D5, this dynamization 5 of homeopathic medicine, if it is not strong enough to bring about effect, if he gives you D25, for instance, then the effect is stronger and it solves the problem, let's say. If you analyze these little sugar particles under an electronic microscope, under D5, let's say, in low denomination, it could happen that you might find 1 or 2 molecules of the active medical ingredient of the particular medication that you are taking. But if you analyze the stronger version, D25 for instance, there won't be a single molecule of the medication from which it was derived. It's pure energy. And it proves, scientifically proves, that pure energy is more powerful than the molecules. So that if you took the tablet, it's 100% molecule, there is energy in it, but in the molecular form, and it's with side effects and so on, you just extract the energy and leave the molecules behind, then there is no side effects. But as I said, the purer the energy, the stronger. And this is why when Shrima, you just take the name Shrima, absolute pure energy flows through every cell of your body. Just taking her name. And imagine then when you become totally conscious of her presence in every cell of your body, then people ask me at 81, how come you don't take any medication, you're totally healthy? I don't take vitamins and integrators and this and that. Well, I eat what I get. It's because I think it is this Shrima, what she taught me. And it's unbelievable how homeopathy works without side effects. Now, if we could do the same for so many other things, and this is the problem, that we don't have treatment still for cancer in homeopathy. Because even in the field of energy, there are energies, and there are levels of energy. And this is why I personally feel that the purest form of energy, the homeopathic medication has energy of the medication. But when Shrima blesses me, it is way beyond molecules and beyond medication. It is total energy form, which is creation. And we know through the scientific theory of evolution how this world began, how this creation started with the pure sound what the Americans call the Big Bang, because Americans like bang bang, but
We
the
know it's
Hindu
Om.
and Hindu philosophy says it's Om Namo Shriman. Wow. Imagine the beginning of creation. And you can create every day your life just by repeating Om. And it transcended into Christianism as Amen. Wow. Now you see how important that is. Much more important than radiography, radiotherapy, injections, pills, and so on. They are necessary so far, yes, until we have reached the point in our personal evolution that we can do also without them. You know, and we have to use crutches. If you've broken your leg and the doctors put a plaster around your leg to keep the bones fixed so that they don't move, and then you don't put weight on it so that you don't move the bones, so he gives you crutches. Now it's important that you use these crutches, but as soon as the bone is healed, you don't need the crutches, you don't need the plaster, you can walk on your own feet. So at times you do need an assistance from medical help. For instance, antibiotics. Even though I'm absolutely a mother's child, I'm not saying I don't need antibiotics, that if I go today and eat in a restaurant here in Pondicherry and the food was contaminated with bacteria and I get a bacterial infection and I have diarrhea, sure, I might need. I can do without it eventually, but I'll suffer longer. But antibiotics have saved a lot of lives, as we know. So modern medicine is extremely important, but what we have to introduce into it is this more powerful healing energy, core, the divine energy or consciousness.
What do you, how do you term your healing? You gave it to me last night. You gave us
Help me, remind me. The thing is,
immune.
yeah, immunology. You have to become immune to.
Yeah,
to
but you gave us more than
psychoneuroendocrine immunology.
There it is.
You know, this is the field of medicine that I truly feel is the introduction, the first step in the temple of pure healing, where medicine has entered the temple of spirituality through psychoneuroendocrine immunology. Psycho meaning psychological aspect, your emotions, thoughts, reactions, psychological reactions.
Mm-hmm.
They have an effect on a neurological system, your brain and the nervous system. Endocrinology is the science of hormones, very important. If your thyroid is not working well, you could experience physical reactions, pleasant or very often unpleasant. And you have the third aspect of it, psychoneuroendocrine immunology. The immune system is the most important system in your body because that is the system that defends you. And I call the divine grace the immune system for humanity because it really protects humanity. And that's why, though millions of people are dying, more people are coming to earth to the divine grace. And this creation, if you notice, is evolving and not crumbling. Today we are better off than 50 years ago. I see more wealth in Tamil Nadu and in India than I saw when I left India 50, 60 years ago. So you can see the divine creation goes on, the divine grace. And that's why I call the divine grace the immune system that protects the total destruction of this humanity or this cosmos. And the immune system is in our body. And I have seen great results of people who have gone to Lord, who have gone to special sacred places, the Samadhi, for very near spot. And they don't need their crutches anymore, or they don't need their chemotherapy anymore. They have cured themselves through this particular energy. And this is why I think all these places have their importance. But you have to be receptive, and it's not just a ritual. it is not enough that you just touch the samadhi and you do your pranam and all that. It is not enough that you do all these very symbolic gestures, but that you really do them consciously, inwardly too. And try and go to the samadhi and don't ask for anything. Don't have a project. Just go and become one with the samadhi, and you will understand what I mean, and tell me then how your sleep was or how your health is. And I've done this with my patients. Very interesting little things. And believe it or not, there are patients who tell me, Madhusudan, or I tell them to call me always Madhu or Madhusudan and not Dr. Patel or so on. And they would take my hand and put it on the abdomen. The cancer of the pancreas is one of the most painful cancers there is. And they said, and I would ask them, why is it that you want me to put my hand on your abdomen? He says, because once you put your hand there, I don't need for hours my morphine medication for pain. And there's nothing specific that I do. I just really touched him with this mother consciousness, Sri Ma's consciousness, divine consciousness. And I don't even have to think about her. It's one with me. So when I touch, when I embrace, I don't do it as a gesture just. It is true, when I do namaste to somebody, I'm truly bowing down to Sri Ma's energy in this person. And it can be just as plain beggar or somebody. It has no importance whatsoever who the person is. But you evoke through that pranam also the Sri Ma or the divine in that particular person. And I feel it's a privilege when I can communicate with Narad, or Narada, because he's a brother. But no, I'm older than him, a few months older. So he should call me Madhuda. No, I'm just Madhusudan or Madhu. And so in medicine, today I wanted to speak about this, is that it is time that we wake up, and psychoneuroendocrinology is the interrelationship between these four medical systems or aspects of our health that are interrelated. And if you observe, you will find that your worst enemy for illness and for all your unease and your discomfort is your thoughts, are your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just imagine, and thoughts are energies. You can't see them, but we can register them on an electroencephalogram. In neurology, we do that. We see how the brain is functioning. We can't read the thoughts, but and a human being generates, on the average, 55,000 thoughts a day. Imagine, 52 to 55,000 thoughts a day in average, and almost all of them, if not 99.99%, if not all of them, at least 99.9% of these thoughts are irrelevant thoughts, and very, very often damaging thoughts because of the energetic effect. So I feel that if we use even our thoughts as energy channels, we can do a lot of good to our patients. So it's very important that when a patient enters in my office, or when I meet, or when I go to the hospital or whatever, it's very important what my thoughts are and what is my state of being. And if I go there as an Ashura because my thoughts are violent and all that, because I'm angry with somebody, then I'm not truly, I'm not supposed to be there.
Yes.
I'm damaging,
Yes.
without they knowing or not. So I say to people, hey, escape when I get angry, because I'm like a volcano. The demon coming out of me, run. It's only for 2 minutes. But still, I do get angry. And Sri Ma will look after it. She'll take care of it.
Now you have clinics in Italy?
No, I don't have clinics. I have a practice in Italy where people come to me not only for consultation, because I'm 81, I don't practice medicine. I don't have the right to practice medicine. I don't want to practice medicine. I help people heal themselves. And so they come for consultation. My knowledge in my field is very, very strong. I have to be competent. I have to know. And knowledge is also energy. And I tell my patients, I don't cure. No doctor ever cures you. It's the human body that cures itself because of this divine energy. And it is time that man puts more emphasis on this very important aspect of his life, that is his soul, this energy in him, and not all the time just his body. And once you do that, then you are not craving for money or chasing dollars and dollar signs. You are not craving for food and sex. You are just craving for the enjoyment of life from within. And every single cell of my body listens to music when I'm listening to music. And when I'm singing, every cell of my body sings. And somebody asked me, what is spirituality for me? I said, spirituality for me is to live my life to its fullest. And it is my path to my self-realization. And self-realization for me is when I become one and total with my inner consciousness, my soul, which is the divine in me. But believe me, I am neither a guru nor a healer. I just am me, and I just want to be an instrument of the Mother. And so I don't tell people what Mother said. I don't tell people what Sri Aurobindo said, because I have not read them, but you can read them. I do what they told me to do. And Mother had told me, my son, use your hands for healing. And when you come in contact with people, your consciousness will affect them positively or negatively. So I can't be serious, and I have difficulty in being serious, even when I give lectures to doctors and professionals, and when I give big conferences. I always have to laugh, I always have to joke, because life is a beautiful divine comedy, really beautiful. And it's great fun being in that particular state of being. It is not this meditative state, it is not this ascetic state where I renounce on everything, but I'm not craving for anything material or so on. And talking of energy, the greatest form of energy, Mother told me, and I discovered that and I've experienced that, is love. Mon fils, l'amour vient de ton âme et non de ton cœur. Not from your heart does love come, it comes from your soul. The heart is only an organ. L'anima. And it is constant and permanent, even when I fall and I hurt myself and I cry, or when I cry because I miss somebody dear who passed away. But that's being human, Mother said. Ça, c'est être humain. Pleure, mon fils. C'est bien pour toi. Cry, my child. It's okay. It's good for you. You feel like crying. It's human. And this is what is so wonderful about the Mother. This is what is so wonderful about this energy, that there's so much energy in love, that you just have to love life, and automatically everything you do is an action of love. But there is also this incredible love. I asked her, what is this? Being in love, to fall in love, and then losing the one you love, and she dies in your arms. And see, even the thought of that love and the loss of that love still brings tears to my eyes, even though it happened perhaps over 63 years ago. But she said to me, Fils, son, love never dies. And just continue loving, and that love will come back to you. And perhaps one day, in another interview, I might speak about it, because it concerns other people, it concerns my family, but it also concerns people that have loved me and I have loved. And so I have to wait and see if I speak about these things. But honest to God, not once has the Mother ever lied to me or misinformed me or promised me something that did not take place. Never. Everything she has said has come true. And perhaps to my brother Narad, I will tell this particular story. The first person to whom I really tell this story to, but it is a story of love and the Mother's grace. It's incredible. And my message in this particular video is, as I said, not words but act. And I want to act, and I tell you also, if you love, act. Don't say you love, just love. Feel it, give it, express it. And I do that in my work. It's part of this love that Mother gave me, and I awaken this love. People call me. You just saw, you heard the phone ringing. It's from Italy. I have a phone for Germany. I have a phone for Italy. Energy started this creation, and I'm sure this energy will bring about what Sri Aurobindo and the Mother have spoken and written about and taught, and who have, honest to God, manifested that, what they say, on this earth. And it is through energy, through this state of consciousness, which I call energy, that you will realize yourself, you will overcome your handicaps and your difficulties, and that is when you will truly start loving life and living life with love.